All right, y'all. I'm back. The Black Factor's back in the building. We are on deck and we are ready to roll, y'all. Look at here. Tonight's show is designed for the fellas. So we're going to talk about man code. We're going to talk about the things that men do, the things that men should do. We're going to talk about all that stuff. And now let me also say to my audience, y'all, ladies and some of the men, feel free to chime in and ask questions, because tonight we're going to talk about man stuff. We're going to talk about the things that affect men, the things that we as men have to deal with, and the things that we as men should deal with. Thank you for checking in, Val Wills. I see you. But I got a panel of guests tonight, y'all. An all-star panel of gentlemen who are going to give you perspective like you've probably never had before. From all spectrums, from both sides, from one side to the other side. I think you're going to find this to be very, very interesting. So hold tight, y'all. Oh, you say you hear an echo. Let me fix that for you right quick. Oh, wait a minute. Is that better? Okay. So I'm about to give y'all this game. It's getting ready to be good. So y'all hold tight and we're going to get this party started. All right. So here we go. Now, I want to introduce to everyone my guest. Like I said, hey, y'all, I got an all-star panel. They're all-stars, every one of them. Great cats. We're gonna talk about man stuff. This is a conversation among men. If you ever wanted to be, ladies, if you ever wanted to be a fly on the wall when men talk and they chop it up and they talk about the things going on around them and in their life and that type of thing, well, get ready, because this is what's about to go down. All right. So here we have my man, Rev Terry. Say hello to the people.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Yeah, this Rev Terry. Now, y'all, this man.
Ball to be a pimp, ready to be a pimp.
Hey, everybody.
How's that? Is that better, y'all? You can't hear nothing. All right. Hold on 1 second, everybody. Turn it up. I can hear it. Huh. Okay. All right. You know what? Let me see. Tell me, is that better there? That's better. Okay. All right. We got it better. Okay. Now, here's what's happening. As a man who was raised by a single mother, I think my mother did a great job in raising me. What? Okay. I got it. My producer, y'all. So I know that it is necessary for men to have males in their environment in order to become men. My personal opinion is that that's a necessity for a man, for a boy to become a man. And some women do not allow their sons to be involved with the proper men in their life sometimes. And so is it just me, or do some of these men end up with behaviors that are not manly? Y'all chime in as you need to. Anybody? y'all ain't got nothing to say about that?
Well, check this out, Jack. Me coming up, my father abandoned me. You did? Yeah, he was a military man. And my mother, she was born in the 30s, and she was one of them ladies that, she wanted a husband to help her take care of her 7 kids. And she got with my stepfather. I mean, my stepfather, he did what he supposed to do. He took it upon himself to take care of her and her children. But, he wasn't the role model that I really, really need. He did, because he did as a man, he showed me some things that he would foul in the game. As far as, having other women. When my mother go to work, he'll sneak another woman in my mother's bed. You know what I'm saying? And then I tell my mother, you know what I'm saying? And she would get on him, and then she would let him do what he wanted to do with me. So that made me rebellious. Real rebellious. So learning that, because that was street porn. You did? To me, that was street porn. So I'll start getting with other guys like Edward Day, Papa Bilbo, you know what I'm saying? Jimmy Valentine, the Notorious Cadillac who dead now, Poe, Candyman. I started looking at them guys. You know what I'm saying? And I thought it was real slick how they was coming up in the game, getting money and everything. You know what I'm saying? So you have some parents, some female was great mothers and did not have to have no man. You did? And raised their children. Gave them what they did everything they could to do. Just like, look at Cooley High, the movie Cooley High, when the mama was going to work and what, priest kept going, doing his thing, and clowning in school. And the mama told him to go get her the belt and everything, and she went to sleep. We got some good parents out here. Some of them just raised wrong because, we just got caught up in the street life. You did? I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with that. We just revolve today. Like I got children and grandchildren, so I try to be a father today. Now, when I was out there, I've done some things that wasn't right myself. But after the period of time I got clean, I don't do them things no more. I don't live that lifestyle no more. You did? For real, for real.
So, with that answer, I mean, so it ultimately then you saying basically you kind of went to what is a typical situation where you're not getting what you feel like what's needed in the home, so you kind of revert to finding that male energy that you needed to grow up as a man from other places, and sometimes them places turn out to be negative, right?
Right. It was the street. I went to the street to look for the love of the male image. you know, the pimp, the player, the hustler, you dig? The bad boy in it, you know, the street poor. That's what I call it now, street poor. You know, reading the Donald Gordon, Iceberg Slim books. You dig? You know, thought that, you know, that image will give me some self-esteem as a man. You know, because, you know, as a man coming up, you know, every man wanted a cold dog, not a good woman, man. You know what I'm saying?
So Rev Terry, what's your take on that thing right there with men? And somebody in the feed already said too much feminine energy. How do you feel about that, sir?
Well, I agree that young man needs a man in his life as a role model. Now, it don't necessarily have to be his dad, his father, but there needs to be a man above him as a role model. It could be his uncle, a neighbor, a teacher, whoever, coach. But a young man needs a male role model to teach him to be a man, plain and simple.
Yes, sir.
Brother Wajid, how you feel about that situation?
I agree 100% because I feel there's not a lot of men in these boys' lives today. Women and mothers can't make a boy a man.
Yes, sir.
You have to have a man. You have to have a man involved. And I think because there's a lack of men in these children's lives, yeah, the feminine, because they're all around women all the time.
Yes, sir.
And I think that has to be rooted in, as far as the foundation for a child, even if the girl doesn't like the man, she still needs to allow him to see his children and raise him up. If it's a father and mother issue. But if not, she needs to allow her uncle or someone, man, in that life to interject with that boy just to give him some guidance. Because I was like Ricky, I had all the guidance. Both my parents were in my life. I lost my father at 13, and then I got involved in the streets. Later down the life, gang banging and doing all that stuff, I realized that, man, I don't have to live like this anymore. Because one of my best friends got shot in the head and he died in my arms. And that was like enough for me. So I understood my father was in my life for 13 years, but after my 13th birthday, I started to run and hang around my older brother. I wanted to hang around uncles because I needed some guidance and I couldn't get it from my mother as far as being a man. That's all I did.
Go ahead, Rick.
Dig this. Think about little Robert Sandy, the little yummy that died back in the 90s.
I remember that.
You know, his mama was a junkie. She was smoking dope. So the grandmama took him in, to try to raise him to the upbringing of the right way. But Yummy, without no father figure, got caught up in the game. It was misled and did the little shooting when they killed the girl, and then they took him off and killed him. That's because if he had a role model who would took some time out, and let him know about the streets and everything, maybe little Yummy would be here today,
I was watching I saw a meme or something. Somebody took a picture of a sign and posted it on Facebook, and it said that fathers have to take the time and have the fathers have to fight for their rights with their kids, for the right to see their kids. But then at the bottom of the sign it said, but ask the mothers why they have to fight to see their kids. They shouldn't have to be. It shouldn't be a fight. It's still their kids. Some of these women use these kids as tools and pawns in order to keep them from, like some sort of a mechanism to control them. And I think that's wrong, and it happens way too often. And the people who suffer the most is always the children. All right. So with that said, I believe that all men, grown men, especially older men, you know, sometimes I think we all need a mentor. We need somebody we can talk to, somebody we can, somebody that's gonna set us straight, somebody that's gonna put us in the right place. But I do know that some men are so ego driven that they genuinely don't know how to accept when another man is trying to pull their coat and set them on the right path. And that's an unfortunate situation. What do you think we should do? What do you think we could do as a community to make that change?
One thing I think that what, in order to understand the child, you have to go to their pipe level. We've already experienced a lot of stuff that they're going through, and they probably don't know that we've been through it. But when we can get that mind where they like, yeah, he do know what I'm talking about. Then and only then can they can understand what we're trying to say. Because you can't tell someone about something you haven't experienced. And a lot of times I think we say things that we haven't experienced, we just say it because it sounds good. But when you have an experience of gang, being a part of a gang, selling drugs or doing anything that was illegal, when you start talking to them, you have to get on their level where, oh, he do understand that. But this is what I did to get up out of that. You know, like even using drugs and alcohol. Been there, done that, all that. Someone who hasn't done that can't give nobody no advice on that because they haven't been through it. But a lot of times people give advice because it sounds good or you think that's what they need to hear. Children right now need to see examples from us. I think we dropped the ball on our children, our age group. I think we're the ones who dropped the ball, and this is why the society is right now. Children ain't scared of anybody. Just recently, in closing, the young kids in Chicago are fighting the police. They're not scared of the guns. They're not scared of the police no more. They will fight the police. So until we get to that level where we can kind of connect with them and see where they're really at, there is no hope. That's just where I'm at.
You know, as far as the communication with the young man, you got to, you know, be a role model, an image. So, you know, like me today, my youngest son watched me, saw me some of my tapes with me when I was boxing and everything, and he got into it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm kind of proud of him that, you know, he's doing something with his boxing because I messed my boxing career up. You know, right now, still, you know, at the age of 60, I still go to the gym and work out and shout about exercise because I want to live. But, you know, some of these younger guys, it's hard to talk to today because, you know, they got that image, that thug life image, and then they listen to this all, you know, they taking pills now. You dig what I'm saying? And they, you know, that ain't got out the thing. When we was coming up, it was the heroin, the cocaine, the weed. Because, you know, my mother used to say, Rick, you smoking that weed, you're going to go to do something heavy. And I used to just tell my mother, oh, you just bumping your gun. You ain't talking. Not paying attention that that's what I really did, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, my kids, my son who passed away, Xavier, they used to see me, you know, smoking weed. They see me in the lifestyle, you know, not coming home with the money. You know what I'm saying? But they see me when I got clean and they see the different person that I came to be. That was only through God's grace and mercy that he came in my life and did that. Gave me the opportunity to be a father. You see what I'm saying? Because I was one of the fathers who ran out with the money. You know, smoked up the Christmas tree, snorted up the Easter bunny. You know what I'm saying? I was one of the individuals, you did, when it was time to pay the rent, I took the money and gave it to the dope man, Jack. You dig? And then I was waiting on my wife. Then I want to get mad at my wife because she got an attitude towards me. You dig? So, you know, I had to make amends and be honest and say, I'm sorry. You know, that's one of the reasons I got clean, because man, I got grandkids. I got grandsons, you know.
Okay, so check this out. All right, now in the feed here, I want to say, now we had one young lady who says let me see, that some of these women, what about the ones who had abused fathers, and the women were able to step in and raise the boys. Now again, there's not that they can't raise boys, but the problem is when you have to try to make a man out of them. There's a big difference right there. Now, I said that to say, Valerie Simmons checked in. She said, my mother raised me and spoiled my brother, and he is pathetic. I noticed how many women treat the sons different. My dad and mom divorced because of him. He's now 54 and he's still the most selfish mofo ever. But now and here's the thing, and here's something, and I'm about to put this out there. It's probably gonna rub some people the wrong way, but how many times have we seen men whose mothers held their hand and coddled them and basically made them weak to the point where out here in the world, other women is saying, yeah, no, that ain't no man, that's a mama's boy. Now, here go the thing. These guys are the same guys that these women raise, and then they get raised into another generation where the women are saying, ain't no men out here, but these same women raise their sons because they didn't want nobody saying nothing to them, disciplining them, checking them, or none of that. Now all of a sudden they in the world, and these younger women, they running around here hollering about ain't no men in the world because they all soft. But then they do turn around and do the same thing like it's a generational curse or something. And I see too many men walking around right now who so used to being treated a certain kind of way by a woman because their mama held their hand their whole life, that they don't make productive men in the world. Is it just me?
Well, they need to grow up. Let me share this again with you. My mama, man, I couldn't do no wrong in my mama's eyes. You did? I couldn't do no wrong, but I was one of the low down, crookedest man it was. But you know, change, man. Grace and mercy. So God, in my understanding is that. You know what I'm saying? You know, when I did do wrong, let me share something. I hold my mother hostage, Jack, when I was using out there. You know, I was so bad, my mother used to tell me when I would call her, when I got locked up, I can rest now. I ain't got to worry about where you at. You dig what I'm saying?
She knew where to find
you. You dig? And you know, it took me some time to learn about who I was, that, you know, me and my brother, next thing, had my mother hostage, man. You know, as a female, you know, a child don't run to mama, man. Ain't that like mama? Y'all know that. Ain't that like mama, Jack? You dig? Daddy be there, but that child, that man, he gonna go to his mama. If he going through some training with a woman, he gonna go, mama, listen, she doing me such and such and such and such. Mama gonna give you some answers, man, on the woman's side of the view, because she's a woman. You dig? You know what I'm saying? For real. You dig? So,
yeah,
hey, man,
right.
I can't say I was one of them. My mother held my hand. You dig? Anything out, man. Every month, I didn't have to worry. My mother sent me $100 on the books. And she had to sneak it, but she did it because I was her child, man. You get what I'm saying? So women's gonna do that. They're gonna hold that their hand, because you know they're like, they something like that's our man. You know, that little boy, you see how these girls, they dress their sons up, you know, do their hair, you know, braid their hair. You dig? They gonna do that, man, because that's they got, Jack.
Well, I definitely agree. I mean, shit, you know, real talk. It been plenty of times my mother was the one to bail me out, and sometimes I wonder to myself if she did that out of some kind of guilt. And what I mean by that is, we have, when you have one of them father figures, it just ain't worth his salt. Now, he don't do the right thing by you. Sometimes the mothers go out of their way to try and overcompensate for that loss. And I think that it can be as dangerous as, you could do too much for them boys. Because I ain't gonna lie, I think I turned out to be a pretty decent man. And one thing my mama did give me that I cherish the most, and that's my integrity. She always told me, if you ain't got nothing else, you got your word. So that, for me, was golden. But there were times where I know my mama probably should not have stepped up and done for me the things that she did. So so I agree with you on that one. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, and here goes something I don't like when I see this in men. I got a real big problem with this. And so if you out there listening and you got this kind of behavior, just know that men like me don't respect it. All you cats out here that's running around, and every time a woman say something to you, look at you sideways, you respond, and you want to argue with a woman. You want to go back and forth with them like you a woman. That's female energy, and you need to stop that. Fellas, tell me if I'm crazy.
No, you're not. No, you're not, Jack. You know what did, Jack? I got out of the game for a long time with them women, man. You did. I took her to the concrete, so I know how it is. A woman, you might get a woman, call you old fucking, all kinds of stuff, cuss you out. Let me share this, and then, come let these brothers talk. A female, it's the way you come to that female and how you treat. Every woman want to be treated right. You did. They want to be treated love. They sensitive, man, and we know this. You did what I'm saying? We as men, we ought to know that woman, we do something to them, they gonna run their mouth, they gonna say something. It's us as men that need to just shut our mouth, you did, and comfort them. You did? Because that's what I do today. If I'm with you, if I do something wrong, I ain't got no problem saying that I'm sorry, baby. Let me take a look at what part I played in this. You did? Any woman, want to get out in the street, want to argue, man, baby girl, I'm not finna do that with you. I'm not finna put my gun with you out in the street. Because, that's what, as black men and people who Europeans seeing us doing it, there go another Negro disrespecting that Negro woman, that black woman, there ain't nothing savage animal, you know what I'm saying? So man, no, I ain't finna do that, Jack. My game too tight for that.
Rev Terry.
Yes, sir.
How you feel about that?
Well, I was just thinking about that as he was speaking, man. It's like, one, I think a man should treat his woman like a queen.
Yes, sir.
It is, you have men that disrespect their wife, their girlfriend, or whatever, very disrespectful to her. And then if they hear another man, they'll call out her name and all that, but if they hear another man, they ready to fight and pull guns and all that kind of stuff, but they don't know what you doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just like with a son. If you disrespecting his mom and calling out her name and something like that, as he did stuff like that, he gonna do the same thing. His mom correct him, he's gonna call out her name. He's disrespectful. That's what he was taught from you. And then you ready to fight him or anybody else on the street that want to disrespect your woman, but that's what you do. So it's like, that's what I teach my daughter. Like my wife, I open doors, do all that kind of stuff. I'm respectful of my queen, because if you see me respecting her, that's what you do. Not that you disrespect, because I don't respect you.
Right.
So that behavior is learned.
There you go. Wajid, talk to us, man.
Yes, sir. Just thanks, Rev. You right where I'm at. In order to get respect, you got to give respect.
Smooth.
And then I found out too, the other part of me is my wife. So if I'm not respecting her, I'm disrespecting myself as well.
Amen.
So You're right. We have to learn how to, and yeah, we get mad, we get upset, we have disagreements. That's part of the game. But when it's all said and done, that woman's got my back. She has to be number one. She is number one, and no one comes before her.
That's right.
So,
Well,
good
I know
point.
I know that to be true because I know you. Now I'm about to get to the real sticky subject. I mean, but now I think it's gonna be kind of obvious what the answers on this one is gonna be. But how do y'all feel about you know how nowadays people on another page, but nowadays it seems like men nowadays don't mind putting their hands on a woman. And a lot of women that hit, but now hold on. Here's where I'm gonna go with this. It has we've also gotten into a time where some of the women not having the proper real male role models have become probably deservedly so defensive of themselves, because I don't think enough of us spend enough time defending them that they will jump up in a man's face. What do you think about a situation where a woman is willing to jump up in a man's face? How should that be handled?
Let me share this with you. I think any man, any woman jump in another man's face, the man, he's a strong, a dominant, he needs to walk away. You need to just let that woman go on about it and let her walk away. Even if she's the gay woman. Because you got a lot of them want to fight men. You know, you got the ones that look like a man, they can box, they want to run their mouth. You got to, let me share something. I'm guilty of that. When I was coming up, I seen that happen. You know, with my stepfather, mom fighting. So that adapted in me. It wasn't until 1991 when my cousin, she you know, her name was Ina Green. She already had 2 kids by 2 guys. Now my cousin, if you was right, she gonna be down with you. If you mess up, she cut you loose. So she had guys from the street, slick guys like me from the street, the two oldest daughters. But she met this square guy who was a Cook County sheriff at the time. You did? She had 2 babies by him. He was a jealous type of individual. You did? He was real jealous. He wanted her to change her whole lifestyle for him. But you know, you can't change nobody's lifestyle when they used to doing things. You know, she liked to go out. She liked to party. She was a stepper party. Well, April 21st, she made 30 years old. She went out on her birthday. She came home. Him and her got into it. He got mad and everything, and he shot her. He killed her. You did? Now, I was at the time I was with my ex-wife, and my mother called me and told me about that. That changed my whole dilemma about arguing with a woman or putting my hands on a woman. You know, I was guilty of that. You know, and from that day on, I never put my hands on a man or woman. You did? You know, whatever you got to say, you can say, all right. If any woman get out of pocket with me, all that I tell her, go get your son, go get your dad, go get your brother, or go get your man. Tell him come see me. You did? You know, to come see me. You know, if you got a problem with me, tell him to come see me. Because I ain't got no business in no street grabbing no woman by the head and slapping her like, or hitting her like she's a man. Yeah. You're a cow. You a straight cow. For real.
So, brother Wajid, what do you say about that?
Anytime you got to put a hand on somebody, if it's that serious, like Ricky said, you need to turn your back and walk away. Because one, if you hit her, you the one going to jail.
Ain't it, man?
That part.
And she could be dead wrong. So it's about saving your life or getting your life taken. So, I don't feel any man needs to hit a woman. And if you like Rick said, if you got to hit a woman, man, you really you're a weak individual. You're a weak individual. And then if you got to hit a woman, why don't you go hit on a man like you want to hit on your woman?
Ain't that
You
man?
know what I'm saying? So I totally disagree with men who do that, man. That's not necessary.
But what's even more, like, cause I've known cats, coming up in the game. I've known, cause I ain't never been, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never been the violent type. No, well, not toward no woman. But it was always, for me, I knew cats that was their MO. That's how they got down. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I don't have no respect for that. And I can't have you in my circle with that type of behavior. You know what I'm saying? It's just not, I can't do it. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work for me. Rev Terry, you got anything to say on that tip?
Absolutely, man. When I was coming up, I got into a lot of fights, and I'm gonna tell you, a lot of fights, because I couldn't stand to see a man hit a woman, and I would always say that the woman was my cousin. So I'd make a relationship just to be able to have a reason to jump in the fight. If I saw a man jump on a woman, she immediately turned into my cousin. I had to jump in and fight. I got into a lot of fights like that. But what changed, my mom used to always tell me to stop. But what changed my heart and my mind and my decisions on that is the exact same thing. I had a cousin that he saw a woman in the projects. Robert Taylor saw a man jump on the woman beating her bad, and he jumped in it, and he beating this dude down. And while he beating this dude down, she got up and jumped on my cousin's back. Get off and leave him alone. And that gave the dude enough time to pull a pistol, and he shot and killed my cousin. And like I said, he was helping her, and she got him killed. So from that point on, I stopped jumping in the fights when I see it. I try to stop it, but I used to always say that's my cousin and jump in the fight.
And see, that's them people that love to live in dysfunction. I talked about that on my show last night on Inside Stepping. That's one of them situations, because you got people in this world, male and female, that are happy in dysfunction and confusion. And if that thing is not a confused situation, or they're not going through something at any given time, they're not satisfied. So they got to always sabotage themselves or sabotage their own life. And them the type of people, them women would, and trust me, I've seen it happen myself. In fact, one night, I'll never forget, I was outside of Chick Rick's. Y'all know that spot on Michigan Avenue. Me and some of the fellas, we was coming up out of there, and we had just pulled off from the curb, and I seen this dude out there scrapping with his old lady. And we pulled up, and I said, hey, man, he had her keys, and she was begging and pleading. He was peeling her head. I said, look at here, get that girl her keys, man, let her go. And he told me, man, you know the next things out of his mouth wasn't nothing polite. So we all got out the car, say, hey, cuz, you don't even want this smoke. You know what I'm talking about? And he was like, he went on and gave her keys. Man, it's my thing. You don't tell me what to do. And I could tell she was basically a willing victim. There's such a thing as a willing victim. And but I told both of them, I said, well, let me put it to you like this. If y'all want to fight out here, y'all want to fight and peel each other head, that's y'all business. But take it home, because I'm not going to stand here and watch him whoop your ass. I'm sorry, I ain't built like that. I can't do it. So that's kind of how that went. But, you got a lot of folks out here, man. They on that page these days, and it ain't cool, Now, what about men? I believe, Ricky, me and you talked about this a little bit earlier, where we talked about men using other men's assistance to take advantage of them. Do something they ain't got no business doing. Like, for example, and I'll tell you the example we talked about. All right, because, I talk about mentors, and I talk about men being able to help other men and talk to other men and talk other men into the places they need to be in. But Ricky made a point, and he said to me, we was talking about, like, say, for example, you tell a man something because you're going through something, and then he end up taking that information and using it against you. Ricky, you want to elaborate on that for me?
Yeah, man. Big Jack. I respect the game. And I mean the game, I'm talking about life. You did. I don't believe that another man, your partner, that you go behind his back and have his woman. If you do something like that, you both. You dig? I mean, y'all close. Your partner come and tell you, dig, man, I'm going such and such with my girl. You dig? You got it? She not a hooker. You know, she a good woman or whatever. I don't think no man should go out and decide about it messing with another man. Well, there's too many women out here for you to go out and just mess with that man woman. You dig? Because on the street, so you can get killed on that tip. You dig what I'm saying?
That's a direct violation.
For real. You know, that to me, that's right, straight violation. But back in the period, and I'm gonna tell you, because I used to pimp. So one of my pimp buddy bros come at me, I'm gonna tell him, big man, your girl wanna leave you, man, and wanna come up here and give me that paper. So what I do, I have him come to my house and hide in the closet. You dig? And she come over there, you dig? And we get into the conversation about what's happening. He busts out on me. You dig? Because on the strip, man, that's my man. You know, like, y'all, brother, yeah, we got a relationship now. I ain't got no business coming behind you trying to get your girl. You dig? That's bogus, man, but you got people like that. You got people who do that. You know, low down, I was in the room, I'm in the rooms and I called down. This brother was telling his girl, yeah, she's a hooker. He shared about what's going on. Then another brother took it out the room and he started having it. And then he got nervous enough to get mad at me because I don't want to have nothing to do with him no more. But if you do him, what you think you do to me? You dig? And then I got the day up and got a bush in your head and call the game. Now I'm here, count time, child time, gentlemen to your bumps. You dig? You know, because I'm going to do something to you.
Rev Terry, tell us something about that on the biblical side. Talk to me, man.
Well, I'm gonna keep it straight up. It's all about trust, man. It's like regardless of who it is, your partner, your coworker, your brother, family member, whatever like that. Once they disrespect you and lose that trust, it's extremely hard to get it back. I mean, you can still be cool, still have much love for them, but you no longer trust that person. And once that trust is gone, you really can sever the relationship because it's a limited relationship now. It's only so much you're gonna give. Information, whatever. So much you're gonna give. And when you have that limited information, limited relationship, it's all due to trust. You do not
lucky you ain't sever their head.
So once the trust is gone, it's a limited relationship. I mean, it's things you do with this person that you won't do because I don't trust him. Or I got some things I'm gonna share, but I'm not gonna share with that person because I don't trust him. So when you had that limited relationship, man, it's like a false relationship to me, you know. So it ain't real. It's almost like you pretend like everything is cool, you know, but it's a limited relationship. You feed them with time and a spoon.
DJ Wajid, tell us what you think, man.
Man, I'm gonna say it like this. First of all, me and my wife's business, me and my wife's business. I don't need to be going telling my best friend what's going on. Everything that we go through, we need to work out. Why? We the only ones under this roof. My best friend don't live with me. He my boy, but he don't live with me. So that's mistake number one, is you telling your business to people and you got people like that. You leave the door open, yeah, the snake gonna come in. Yeah, he gonna come in. That's what he gonna do. He come to kill, steal, and destroy. And who he trying to destroy? He gonna smile in your face and stab you in the back. So no, me and my wife's business between me and her. She can be mad as hell with me. I can be mad as hell with her. But that's something that me and her gotta work out. So when you open the door to let outside entities come in, that's exactly what's gonna happen. So, you know, I just say, man, they say a closed mouth can't get fed. Well, the only closed mouth, the only person that need to be getting fed is between me and my wife. So we need to work that out. So I think when you start doing that, you start taking the focus off. When you do stuff like that, I think you're going to somebody else to support your own shit. If I'm telling my best friend about it, I want him to co-sign my bullshit.
I'm gonna tell you like this on some relationship type stuff. One of these days I'm gonna do a show. We're gonna talk about that whole relationship thing. But as a person who has been with the same woman for 32 years, I'm gonna tell you something, one very valuable lesson that we learned along the way. Y'all get into it with each other and get to beefing. The last thing you do is tell anybody else. And when I say anybody else, I said anybody else. Here's why. You start, like, for example, somebody do something they ain't got no business doing, and you go tell your mama. You go tell your sister. You go tell your friend. And in the heat of that passion of you being aggravated and irritated at what they did, you so mad you go tell these other people. Well, these other people now is taking your side because, of course, they only hearing that one side. And then all of a sudden they like, oh, hey, man, he ain't shit. Next thing you know, you back with them. And they saying, why you still with him? He did this, that, and the other to you. Now there's a rift in the relationships across the board. Mama, sister, cousin, brother, friend, it don't matter. I can't stress this enough. Keep your business to yourself. That's the best. If you don't plan on literally getting up and walking out on that relationship, and I mean walking out and staying gone, don't do it. Don't do it. Keep your business to yourself. Work it out amongst yourselves. Figure it out. If you can't figure it out, then let it go. But in the meantime and in between time, don't kill what you got because the other people around you gonna make it hard on you.
Yeah.
Now, man, y'all got me all off. Look, y'all got me all off path here. Now, to my audience out there, if y'all got any questions that you just want to ask a man right now, this is your time. This is your time to speak up, ask a question, find out something you always wanted to know, because we're going to give it to you in the raw tonight. Oh, yeah. We're going to give it to you. And there's so many things that go on among men. But one thing that I can say that I'm happy about, one thing about men, we don't keep up with a whole bunch of catty nonsense. I feel sorry sometimes for women and the stuff they go through. And I also sometimes feel sorry for the women who always, and see, now we having this man talk. And see, ladies, y'all just happen to be a privy to it. But, you know, these women that run around here, they be talking about girl power and they all want to stick together, but they got that one girl that you know she finna break bad. But they don't know it, and they still protecting her. Have y'all ever seen that before?
Say that again, man. I got cut off. Say that again, Jack.
Okay, check this out. Y'all ever see how a bunch of women get together and they be talking about, we girls, that's my girl. And, you know, her girl would never do this to her, never do that to her. They go through the same things we do. You know, like how we just got through talking about code, how you don't break bad with your partner's peace. So, but these women, some of them, is equally as bad as we are. And we had to deal with that. What you think?
Hey, B.
Hold on, man.
Look, I'm just saying that, you know, you got some women out here that's just as foul as some of these men, and they will run behind their girlfriend back, especially after they done got out there and told their girl how her man done slighted her or did something she didn't like, and she bitching and moaning and griping and telling her girl all that. It go the same way, and they be like, my girl would never do that to me. While all the while,
If one of my girl, if her girlfriend come at me, man, I'm gonna turn it down for real. You did? My girl, for one thing, let me share. One bad woman be fucking 10 women. You did? For real, for real. If you got a girl and she down with you, man, and that's your girl, man, and she love you and you love her, man, ain't nothing wrong with being dedicated to that one woman, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Now, you got a bra, you got a girl you've been there with. You back in the day they said don't get with a woman that you like, get with the woman that like you. You did? Because the one you get with you like might not be the one, that relationship might not work out for you, man. For real. It might not work out for you. You know what I'm saying? So get with somebody that like you. But if one of my girls, if my girl got friends, that's just like I was saying about my buddy. In the room, because I'm in the rooms with Narcotics Anonymous, and we share. We do book study, and we get together. It's supposed to be confidential, anonymity. You did. They're like what we doing. It was anonymity. But if you get in there and you break the code, you wrong for that, Jack. You wrong for that.
All right. So check this out. We got a question. Somebody wants to know, how do men feel if their woman is making more money?
Get money, baby. Get it. Get it. Bring it on home to daddy. You dig? Bring it on home. You dig? Hey, Jack. But check this out. Man, I'm the man. I'm going to take care of my woman. We got whatever money she got, Jack. If she make more than me, I know I'm the man in my relationship. You dig? Because I'm going to stand on that, Jack. You dig? For real. I'm going to stand on that like 4 flat top, 2 spare attitude. I'm going to stand on that. Because if I know I got my wife or my woman, we got a good relationship, she going to do for me. It ain't about how much money, who got who. Because automatically, as a man, I'm going to take care of mine, man. You dig?
YG.
That's my bottom, Jack. You dig? That's my, what I mean by bottom. That's my main woman. You dig? For real,
YG, tell us what you think, man.
Boy.
It's real, Roger. Ain't it, man? Ain't
it? Hey, Rick.
Yeah, Jack.
Keep it real.
Hey, man, I can't do nothing but else to keep it real, man. Because you know what, man? Let me share this. I was in a relationship with a woman, man, for 7 years and 10 months. That was my, that was my woman, man. I thought that was my woman. You did? So I started seeing the defects of character where she was at. I found out that I loved her more than she loved me. You did? I had to learn that. I didn't get mad because as a player, I had to accept because I done broke pretty hard, man. You did? I done broke pretty hard, Jack. You did? Let me share this and I'm going to get off. I paid her rent before I paid my own rent because I cared that much for that woman, man, to not let her be in the streets. You did?
Hey.
For real. The fucking bastard. You did? I paid her rent I paid back. And then I realized, after being in the relationship and seeing and stuff, I see that, it wasn't for me. So I left it alone. You did?
Hey, I moved on. Hey, Rick, you said it was 7 years and 10 months?
7 years and 10 months. And you know what? Check this out, Jack. I can't get that time back. That's like going to the penitentiary. You did?
Oh.
7 years and 10 months, man. I think, she's from New Orleans. I think she put something in my food, Jack.
Hey, Rick, when I come to Atlanta, I got to hook up with you, man. But look, let me say something on that. Oh, shoot. Oh, my God, boy, Rick.
Y'all is a mess.
Go ahead, Reverend. I can't even get my thought out right now. Rick,
what you think about that, Rev? You know, you with her, your heart with her, you think her heart was there, but then you realize that your heart wasn't really there. You did. So I had to, huh?
But you know what, Rick? All men go through some form of that.
Yes, sir.
All of us have went through that at one time. And don't nobody escape that. Yeah, but that make you wake up, you like, damn.
Yeah. And see, you know what? I ain't the werewolf of London, and I ain't the predator. I ain't finna go chase after you. You need, you know, regardless, you know what, regardless the pain, you know what? I thank God for the rules of Narcotics Anonymous because the principles, them 36 principles helped me, man. And I had to sit down and write about it. You know, I had to get some courage and ask myself what was going on with me. Ain't nothing wrong in loving an individual and getting your life and loving an individual. You get you a mate that you love. Now, I got a cold one now, Jack. I got a cold one. I know where I got a man, she down like, man, she down, Jack. She down, for real. So I'm happy now, man. Ain't nothing in the world that this lady won't do. And I got to think of her and say, dig this. She down for me the same way I wanted her to be down. When she do, she do. So, you know, like I tried to, you know, we sit down and we conversate, she did. Man, ain't nowhere in the world I'm finna let her go. For real.
Hey, Rick, you know what my favorite saying is? What man is seeking is also seeking him.
Yes, sir.
When you line yourself up with the will of God and come to agreement, he preparing that woman exactly the one you need for you.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So back to the original question that Brian asked was, if her girlfriend come to you, look, girl, you need to go your step away because my wife will kill you and me.
That's right. That's right.
So look. So some stuff you just gotta shut it down immediately because ain't no need to. Soon as she say, "Hey, YG, can I stop?" You got to stop.
Yes, sir.
I ain't trying to hear what you trying to say. Hey, YG, can I? No, stop. So, you know, but man.
That's just like I say, you know, that's just the same way with my man. I was telling him about he was sharing his experience was going on because, you know, that's what we do in the room. We get a big study and we talk about our defectivity and our shortcomings. You know, so we can get better.
I'm familiar.
It's society. You know what I'm saying? Living in society because, you know, it's so much corruption out here in society. You know, because I was part of the problem, now I'm being part of the solution. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the lifestyle I live, it didn't gain me nothing but a heartache and penitentiary time, man. You know, I got to bring life today, man. I ain't trying to mess it up. You know?
Right.
Even when, you know, I've been going through a lot of deaths in my family. You know, I lost my son. I lost my granddaughter. I lost my son's wife, the best friend. I just lost my nephew. My great nephew killed my nephew. You know, and I had to stay on my square, be there. See, sometimes I ask God, why you made me the patient? You did.
All right, so
God said, remember when you was the black sheep?
Yeah.
You know, now I gave you the wisdom and the knowledge. Now you got to put it to, you got to use it to help others. It ain't about me no more. It's about helping others today, Jack.
All right, hey, so check it out. Rev Terry, we got a question. Go ahead, brother.
About a man making more money than a man. In my opinion, it's a form of insecurity because the man always feels that he is the king, the alpha male, the head of the household. He needs that to feel that coming. So anytime his woman is making more, it mentally puts in his mind that she's above me, that I'm no longer the king. I no longer can rule the land or whatever like that. she's above me. I disagree with it, but that's the mentality that some men have when their woman makes more than them. But if you and this woman are together and are building together, it's like I bring in a brick, put down, you bring in 2 bricks. Either way it go, we building the kingdom, plain and simple. You should not feel like, oh, she put 2 bricks, I put 1 brick. No, this is our bricks.
Yes,
She
sir.
brings 2,
That's
I
right.
bring 1. That's plain and simple. But some men have the mentality that if she makes more money than me, that gives her authority that she calls the shot. Now she's the head of the household. She's the alpha and all that, the king of that. But that's not true. That's the but to answer your audience member's question. It does happen. I don't agree with it, but that's the mentality that some men have. But it depends on if they're in a relationship or not too, because you have some men that depend on a woman to take care of them, and I definitely disagree with that. But in my perspective, like I said, she can make twice as much as us. We put it together. I bring my chips, put them in there. You bring your chips, and we building a kingdom together.
Okay. All right. So I got 2 last questions. I'm gonna take one and I'm gonna answer it, and then I'm gonna ask another one because this one here is pretty doggone simple. Valerie Simmons asked, "Men, do you teach your daughters that she should be submissive?" Valerie, I'm gonna take this one all by myself, and I'm gonna say this to you because that is a pet peeve of mine when I see any of these young men running around here talking about women supposed to be submissive. Ain't no woman gonna be submissive to a man weaker than her. Let me repeat that. No woman is gonna submit to a man that she deems is weaker than she is. So if a man gotta ask a woman to submit, then he doing everything wrong. You understand me? Because the strongest women out here want a man that they can submit to. But if that woman is so strong that she ain't gonna submit to you, that means you ain't strong enough man for her. It's as simple as that. It don't get no plainer, no simpler than that. Now, somebody wanted to know what's worse, a father that is in the home and ain't worth his salt, or an absent father?
Both of them is wrong, man. If the father in the home ain't doing what he's supposed to do, then and he's sitting up there sorry, laying up on that woman, letting her go to work. But see, God made, let me share this. And I'm a spirit. When God made Adam and Eve, he made Eve as the man's mate. Okay? God gave Adam in charge of the earth, not Eve. So when Eve ate of the fruit, her eyes wasn't open. When she gave it to her mate Adam's eyes was open. So that's when am I right, Rev?
Yes, sir.
So see, that's why God made us the head, not the tail. You did. So we got to be the men to take care of our family. We got to be the man to stand up and do what we supposed to do as our family. Now, if we gonna sit up here and think you slick and cool, you gonna send your wife or your mate out there to work to pay the bill. That gonna cut out sooner or later. She gonna get sick of that. You did. And then the father who absent out in the life, I had to say that I was part of that. Because when I started going to jail, for the in and out of jail for the dope thing you did getting high, and then I get caught up doing what I was doing my dirt, my kid was absent. And that hurted them. That hurted them, man. But once I gave up the lifestyle, then I came to be the father that I'm supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So either way it goes, both of them wrong. Ain't no way in the world man supposed to be laying up on no woman, man. You didn't think she's supposed to take care of everything.
Go ahead, Wajid. Tell us what you say, what you think.
No, because I wanted to hear the question again. You said, who is worse, the man that's in the house that ain't doing nothing and the man who's not in the house, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard it right there. Well, I think both of them are wrong. Because the man that's in the house, should have a role in that child's life, but if he's not, he's probably don't have a role in their life because he's too focused on that woman. And that's probably where the misery's coming in. And the one who's not in the house, yeah, of course, he's not there because he don't really care for the child or the mother. But I think sometimes when you have a child, no matter if you like the woman or not, you still have a responsibility for that child. So if you're in that house, you should be trying to do something that can benefit. You might not be bringing no money in there, but you can be in there studying with them, showing them things like that, how to be a man and a boy, you know. So there's always if he's in the house, he has a better chance of being a father than not being in the house. That's my point.
Rev Terry?
Now, so, first of all, an absent father is bad. And, because there's no reason for you to have these kids and not be, even if you can't financially support them financially, you still can be there for them emotionally, plain and simple. You may not have the money to do it, but you can be, your presence means everything to them. Because they don't care whether you can buy them this and buy them that. They need you there, plain and simple. Now, for the father that's in the household that's not doing nothing, that's an extremely selfish mentality. He's there for the self. He's not there trying to build nothing together with his wife and kids and nothing like that. He's there to get what he can get out of it. First of all, he has no pride, first of all. But when I say selfish, back to what I was talking about earlier in building the kingdom. You bring yours, she bring hers, we build the kingdom. But if he's not bringing nothing in that household, when they bring nothing, don't mean just money and finance. Like I said, he has a lot of other things to bring into that household for the kids, for the wife, support, mentality, all that kind of stuff. If he's not doing any of that, then he's selfish and he has no pride. And he's just there to get what he can get out of it. And feel like as soon as he stops gaining from being in the household, he's gone anyway.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's almost our time. Fellas, I want to give y'all a great big thank you, man, for this being the first time we've had a panel like this. It won't be the last. We're going to definitely get together and chop it up again and talk about all the things, all the things men, you know what I'm saying? And just have an opportunity, man, to get some stuff out in the air and give people a chance to, see where our minds are, see what we thinking, talk about our experiences and give, because think about it, man, you got to remember, there's a whole lot of women in the world that often sit there and they wonder, they wish they could be a fly on the wall, and they wonder really what men really do think. And we want to be able to, provide them with some insight instead of it always being a bunch of assumptions about what men think and how men feel. Because, see, it's a whole lot of things, whole lot of feelings that we have that don't get out all the time. And sometimes we have to share them things. And I happen to know all three of y'all been through one hell of a lot. And ladies and gentlemen of my audience out there in the world, I want you to know when I tell you these three men have experienced life in ways that some of y'all can't even imagine. Trust me when I tell you, okay? This I ain't gonna get into their business, but trust me, Ricky shared some of his. Wajid, he only, he got his own, he got them skeletons just like my man Rev Terry. Like I do. We all do. But at the end of the day, we here. And gentlemen, I thank you. I salute you, my kings. I appreciate you. Steel sharpen steel and men sharpen men. Fellas, have your last words. Ricky, you start.
Hey, I'm Ricky. I'm B16686. I got an EF number 791734. I want to thank the God in my understanding that I ain't in nobody's basement, that abandoned building, that apartment with no lights, no water, no gas, sitting in the house with a bunch of candlelight in the middle and a table with a candlelight in the middle of it, trying to get another bag and get high. And why I say my institution number, because through grace, mercy, that I found a God in my understanding, change my ways and my behavior and my thought, and show me compassion, humility, and brotherly love, James. For real, for real. That's what I want to say, Jack.
Rev Terry.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for having me on here. It truly was an honor. It was a pleasure to meet you, brother Ricky and
Yes,
Rajee.
sir.
Like I said, I was honored, man. It was very entertaining and very enlightening because as a man in the community, all men are looked upon, from women, from the police. We always looked upon in a negative light anyway. So we need, and nothing's going to change that but us. We are the only ones can change that. We are looked upon as in a negative light by everybody. The police, the government, women, everybody, other men. But we have the power to change that. And this panel and things like this, what you're doing, B, man, it's a positive, man. It's a positive.
Yeah. Yeah.
DJ Wajid.
Yeah. One thing I want to say, man, thank you for allowing me to come on with you guys, two powerful men. Ricky, my man, because we got the same background.
Yes, sir.
And we got the same process of what you're going through right now. I identify with you.
Yes, sir.
And Reverend, yes, sir. Thank you, Alabama man. Clemson.
That's right.
Clemson.
Wait,
Thank
Chicago,
you so
Chicago
much.
first now.
Yeah, right. Chicago first, always.
Outside.
And thanks, B, for allowing this to happen tonight, man. You know, I always say my motto in life: no matter what you go through in life, never give up. Stick with it. Don't quit it, because one day you'll get it. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
That's cool.
Yeah. About to eat. Yes, sir.
I apologize, y'all. That's my bad. I'm having technical issues. I'm working them out. We set up a new studio today. So anyway, I want to say this here about those gentlemen. Each one of them has a story and has a story to tell. And I personally have known them for many years. And I am thankful to have men like that in my circle because I know that there are people who can be trusted, people who have integrity. They have walked the walk, not just talked the talk. They've been through it, got through it, made it to this other side, and are living good lives now. All three of them, including myself. We all identify with each other's situations. I want to say thank you to all of you for tuning in and checking it out. They were very entertaining. I enjoyed myself. I don't know about you. I had a real good time talking to my brothers on here. And we're going to do this again. We're going to begin doing more things of this nature so that we can bring information. Let black media define our image rather than having allowed others to define our image for so long. It's now a time where we have the opportunity to control what others see in us, and we can exude and exercise black excellence at every turn. And so I want to be as much a part of that as I can moving forward in life. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to again thank you all for coming and hanging out with me. And next week, ain't no telling what we're going to talk about, but I'm sure it'll be something that will at least keep your attention. Y'all have yourselves a fantastic evening. This has been The Black Factor. I'm Brian Forbes, and we are out. Peace, y'all.